All right, y'all. We are live on this beautiful Friday morning. God bless everybody in Jesus' name, in the name of Yeshua, Jesus, the Messiah of the whole world. I do pray everybody watching and listening is super blessed. As the title of the video says, major warning for Bitcoin and crypto. We're going to be talking about targets, analysis. We're going to be discussing this large move to the downside, about 5% to the downside on Bitcoin. We've also seen the stock market take a tumble. And we're going to be talking about the key levels, key areas of support, key areas of resistance, and most importantly, what comes next. This is the final hope for Bitcoin and crypto, as the title says. And if the title says it, well, you got to take it seriously. I mean, honestly, how do we know what's true or not in this world? If you see something on a screen, specifically on your computer or cell phone screen, you know it's true. And what do we have right here? What does your screen say right here? This is the final hope. So sit back, relax, get your seatbelts on, eat your popcorn, because we're about to dive in to the juiciest Bitcoin technical analysis and crypto here on YouTube. And to throw in a few other keywords that are good for trading searches, we're going to be talking about the smart money fair value gap concepts up in here with the order blocks and the change of character with the BOS up here on the chart, baby. ICT, if you know what I mean. Smash the likes, baby. 1,000 likes. We about to get a $1,000 giveaway up in here. And we got to give a major shout out to my man Rad. CME gap at $50. Do you think we'll ever see that? That would be crazy. They say rate cuts in September. Yeah, we're going to be talking about the potential of a fall pump like we've seen the last 3-4 years. Shout out to Stephanie Mallet or Malay. Shout out to Crypto Incognito. Shout out to Felix H. Good thing you kept that short open, Jay. People were asking why you didn't close it. I know. And I actually have another short open too, but I don't have it logged in. So we are currently short and long, both right now, over $200,000 worth. So we are in the ultimate schlong trade. All right. Here's the thing about trading. You got to take the trades when the opportunity presents itself, lock in a take profit, and then keep the rest running in case. All right? Yeah, so that's the way you got to do it, guys. Honestly, shout out to my man Daniel. He says, what up, my favorite Cuban, Jewish, crazy, transgender freak show? Bro, I'm not transgender. I'm trans, non-carbon, binary, emission gender. Now, this dump did catch me off guard, okay? Because I was just my happy-go-lucky NPC, trans, non-carbon, binary, emission, gender study self, buying the dip. All of a sudden, as I'm taking a long trade from my box right here, okay, all of a sudden, the news comes out. And I went from this to this. All right, depressed, losing everything. Didn't shave for weeks. Now, mind you, this happened all in a 12-hour period. In 12 hours, I went weeks without shaving. Sock on the head, tightly around the forehead, squeezing the brain cells. What were you thinking, Jason? What were you thinking? Okay, what were you thinking? But it was during this time that I saw the Bitcoin price getting a bounce right from key support at the value area low of the range. And I decided, you know what? I'm not going to let myself live in this situation anymore. I took the sock off my head. I shaved. I started going to the gym, taking care of myself. All right? And I transformed from this into this into this. All right? Hitting the gym, eating healthy. All right? Mirror selfies. And after I got myself together, I made this thumbnail. Because Bitcoin, baby. Are we about to pump? Is history about to repeat? I got my best open mouth thumbnail face on, baby. Pixels and everything. My favorite picture of Sam Bankman-Fried's bullish man boobs, ready to pump the man price to a new all-time high. And I made myself an 8-minute and 53-second video for YouTube, getting everybody ready for the next big move on Bitcoin. It's going to be spicier than a whole bowl of jalapeno peppers. All right? I'm telling you, it's going to be juicy. Now, we got to talk about this white box that didn't hold. But before we do, I got to give a major shout out to 3, 4, 5, 6 different things. First of all, BLOFIN, guys. 20% cash back. Don't sleep on BLOFIN. if you want to trade long and short Bitcoin and crypto. 20% cash back, discount fees. Also, Antarctic Exchange. An exchange made by traders for traders, completely decentralized, where instead of it's not you against the market makers, it's you against other traders. So if you trade on the exchange, you own the exchange. If someone gets liquidated, you actually get paid for that because you're providing liquidity. Also, we got to give a major shout out to the Casper Crew VIP Discord, best trading community in the world, where we gave the short setup from the exact high in advance, as well as the long setup from the level that we're bouncing at right now from around $100,000-ish. We also have to give a shout out to MEXC and WEEX, the two other exchanges that I'm trading on. MEXC and WEEX, check them out if you like low fees. MEXC and WEEX is the way to go. All right. We also have to shout out in the chat HFG, God bless you, bro, and Eddie. What is going on, my man? Classical hide the weak arms with tattoos. Yes, yes. You know what's funny though? My tattooed arm is actually smaller. It's actually smaller. You know. Shout out to Hoop Hoop Platter. Always good for a laugh. Mirror selfies, LOL. Major shout out to Doriani June. And major shout out to Gen X Crypto. Shout out to Joe Potter. Long and strong, baby. I hope so. Shout out to Archon Anabi and Jay Becker. Shout out to Steven Najahulis. We got some buyer's exhaustion. And Dan Nixon. He wishes that what Philip says is true. He says only up from here. Alright. Shout out to Fred Sloan and Kay Glay and Lightbot. And Felix H. He says Jesus is our hope and our savior. Amen. Amen. The reason for everything. Shout out to Fran's Dip. They say rate cuts in September. Dusty Hunt. He says I have no hope. Shout out to Splashfire Films. All right, with the shilling of the Casper Crew, and we got to give a major shout out to Vigorous Steve. He's here for an anabolic chart today, bro. Trust me, I've got my protocol. All right, for up only. All right, we're gonna share it today. All right, shout out to Vigorous Steve. He also has a YouTube channel, guys. Go check him out, Vigorous Steve. Shout out to Jewel. I'm watching this with my 8-year-old son. He's Paul. Well, Paul, God bless you, Paul. And you're 8 years old, man. If you start learning this stuff now, Paul, you'll never have to have a job. When all your friends are trying to work at McDonald's, you're going to be trading, making more money than them. And by the time you're my age, an old rickety man about to be 35, you're going to have financial freedom. You know, unless the whole world starts to fall apart, which it could. Which reminds me, we got some FUD last night. There's some news that happened that facilitated this dump. Now, full disclosure, guys, I took a long trade yesterday as we were coming down into this zone. If you guys remember, I was looking at this box for a bounce, and I saw bullish divergences. I took a long trade. And when I saw we came down into this box, I ran to the chart to click that long button. But I wish that I didn't run. I wish I had walked slowly and thought twice about my decisions. Because then we just dump. I took a $1,500 loss. This is now my second loss that I've taken here in the last 7 weeks of trading. All right, which makes my win rate 5 out of 7 now. It was 5 out of 6. Now it's 5 out of 7. Drastically decreases the win rate. But you know, it doesn't really decrease the profits more than $3,000 total. And you see me over here make close to 50 grand in these trades during the last few weeks. And so that's the thing, guys. Risk management is so key. All right, these losses don't affect it all, right? And guys, if you want to learn how to trade, check out the free course on YouTube with your instructor right here. You can tell he's a good instructor. All right, playlists, an 18-part course on how to trade and how to do it wearing a long hair 1980s hair metal wig. All right, check it out. Okay, let's dive into the charts here, because this is a very technical move, although it was facilitated by some news here, and I'm not going to comment on it. All right, I'm not going to comment on it exactly what happened. We all know what happened. Okay, and first of all, when we take a look at like the S&P 500, just straight down. Now consolidation to the upside. All right. Bitcoin, the same thing. Straight down, consolidation to the upside. Now, this actually was a very technical move here. All right. This was actually my, this was my long trade right here, guys. This is my long right here. Yesterday, got in, stop loss, was targeting, you know, some highs here, but obviously that got stopped out for the loss. Okay, so here's why this is such a technical move. We come down to the POC of the range. Now, if you remember yesterday, we were saying this green box is super key. Why? Because we had a breakout, and now we're looking for a back test and then another move to the upside. Okay, when we came down to here, we got our first little bounce, and then we got another drive down. I thought, okay, we got some bull divs. Let me go for a long. Obviously, got stopped out. Now, once we lost, all right, the POC, what do we say is most probable upon loss of a POC? Well, we come down to the value area low of the range. Look at where we actually bounced from. We bounced perfectly from the value area low of this range. Now, if we're going to zoom out and just look at this right here as a range, as a structure in and of itself, there is a case to be made right here that this is actually really nice support. Why? Because we had a low, which was a key level, by the way. Then we kind of started a little uptrend. Made our highs, higher lows, our higher highs, our higher lows, our higher highs, right? We took out this last lower high, and now we're coming back down for a higher low. And not only is it a higher low, but if we pull our fib from low to high, you can see we're bouncing right between the zone of the Fibonacci golden pocket and the 786. So this is a very technical move, even though it was facilitated by news. And we can't say it wasn't facilitated by news. The news made it happen quick, but the levels were very, very technical. I mean, look at this, right? We start to get a bounce literally right from the POC. And then when we lose that POC, it was like literally in like an hour, we're back to the value area low, okay? Now, what needs to happen right now for more upside? Because there's two ways to look at this. We got some news. We could say, okay, the news is bearish and the chart, you know, I've seen a lot of cases here, people making for bearish chart. The weekly bear div, they say, is going to confirm. All right, we've got a confirmed red dot on the daily here, which is not a good sign, okay? So here's how I'm looking at this, okay? Right now, the most important level on the chart for today, I'd say is going to be 105,672. That is this right here, the point of control of the range, which is also daily open. Now, I want to point something out here. Okay? First of all, I want to be very clear. I am not telling anybody what to do right now. I'm walking you through my view on the chart, all right? This is very important. I'm telling you my view on the chart right now. This is not the time to be taking action. This is the time to be planning to take action, all right? So why is 105,644.2 so important? It's the daily open, all right? We got a daily open right here. Today's daily candle opened up, and as soon as the daily candle opened up, straight drop. Not even a hint of upside, straight drop, leaving behind no wick. All right, now when you have no wick, and the daily open just straight down, and you have a high volume node, this is now going to be extremely key resistance. If we can close today's daily candle above this level now, that would actually look pretty good. Can you imagine a wick that's literally this long, and the candle is closing back up here? That would actually look really good. That would actually look pretty dang bullish. It would make us think, okay, this is just FUD. We saw this happen before with other conflagrations in the world where there's like a short-term FUD dump and then it leads to a pump. But if we cannot reclaim 105.6, the POC, then sadly, I think we're going to come down to our next support, which is going to be around $97,000. And if this starts to happen, then we have to be honest and say, oof, this is another lower low. High, low, lower high, lower low. And it's making the summer look not so great. It's making the summer look not so great. All right, so this is pretty key as we are heading into our second week of June. So far, if we can't see some major strength here, it's making the summer look not so great. Yeah, so we do have a confirmed red dot here. And let's take a look right now. I just want to see something. This is our 30-minute chart. Let's put on our TPO indicator. And I want to see if we have any single prints here. We don't. All right, we don't. We don't have any single prints. Okay. I want to take a look also at the order flow right now. And I want to see what happened on the move down. All right, let's take a quick look here. Wow. Okay, so I do have to say this. Okay, they're closed out now. Interesting. Oof, man. This is very interesting order flow. The reason why I say that is because, we actually did see quite a few longs opening up on the way down, trying to buy the dip. That's so interesting. And we did see a significant amount of shorts open up too, but they have since closed out. So I don't necessarily see anything too crazy right now. So we're gonna just have to go with this being our key level right now, 105.6. The next long trade would be something like this, all right? We come up, we come down for the back test, and then we can look for a move back toward the top of the range. All right, this right now is a bullish scenario. That would be the final hope for Bitcoin. Okay, you can see that we've got our key support resistance flip right here. We reclaim, we back test, we could look for a pump. Money flow, momentum getting higher on the 30 minutes. We can't do this. It's not a great look for Bitcoin. If we do this, I'm going to be adding to my long positions in hopes of one big final pump to the upside. Now, I want to go back to the higher time frames because when in doubt, zoom on out. All right? When in doubt, zoom on out. The weekly time frame, as we know, for the first time in history, for the first time this bull run has the potential to print the upside down Sam Bankman-Fried bearish man-boo pattern. This is a market cycle top signal, whereas the price is getting higher into key resistance. Sam Bankman-Fried's mammary anatomy is getting lower. All right, in fact, if we superimpose onto the chart and stretch, we see the resemblance is indeed striking. The last time we saw this on the weekly time frame was November 2021. So we don't want to see this weekly red dot print, all right? Oh, man. The 2-day. Oh, man, we've got a red dot printing here. Really would like to see that not print. Sadly, guys, this drop to the downside has made these bullish high time frames start to look a little bit more ambiguous. All right, a little bit more ambiguous. But here's one thing that we can know for sure. This entire uptrend is characterized by big breakouts, blue sky breakouts. All right, so we can go all the way back to November 2022, and every single range that we formed here, we got a big blue sky breakout when we broke out of the range. And so we're expecting something similar like that to happen in the uptrend. So we're coming down to the wire, man. We are coming down to the wire right here. When we zoom into the 4 hour, we can see that also we had this really nice pattern of pump, range, pump, range, pump, range, pump, and then this is really our first pullback here. All right, this is our first pullback here. And so what I really want to see right now is this. We took the liquidity, right? So this is our sideways range. We want to see a higher low hold here to break out. That's really what we need to see. If we don't see this very soon, and especially if we print a red dot on the weekly, then we're back inside the larger range. All right, this is our larger range right here. And the next level, if we're going to continue to have a bearish summer, is going to be our high volume node down here at 96,900. And then the level after that is going to be the value area low of the range, right around $88,000 to $90,000. And then if we continue bearishly, we are going to come and tag these lows. All right, these are the three levels, assuming that we can't hold higher lows here. These are the three levels on the chart to be aware of for the summer if we have a slow bearish grinding summer. Okay, because this is the high volume node of the range, this is the value area low of the range. Notice how what's happening on the high time frames, or what could potentially happen on the high time frames, is what was happening on the low time frames as well, right? In fact, we could look at this whole big structure and see a lot of similarities here, right? We came up to the top of the range, we fell down, we got our bounce right from the value area low. Right now, we are at the top of the range on the high time frame, which is why I'm saying it's possible for us to come all the way down to the value area low. It's like the same thing, right? The same pattern that we saw right here, all right? You had the big drop, the big pump, and then we come back down to value area low. We have the big drop, the big pump, and then we come back down to value area low. All right? It's possible. It's possible. Now, again, for me, I'm looking to reclaim like our daily open, the POC of this range, to feel more better about being bullish. But if not, I have to expect these targets. Now, historically speaking, when we're talking about the summertime for Bitcoin, what tends to happen? The summer is bearish and down. All right, 2023, the summer is bearish, sideways and down. We actually don't lose the range. We wick below, we don't lose it, but then the fall is really when we start to pump. 2024, sideways and down, right? It looked really bullish in May. This was May. I expected a breakout. But what ended up happening was no breakout, sideways and down throughout the summer. We wick below the range, and then it's the fall where we really pump. All right, even going back to the last bull market, we had that bearish sideways and down summer right here, and we don't pump until the fall. The fall was really bullish. Okay? So, could we see the same thing happen now? I don't want to give dates here, but I'd say if we can't see a clear breakout by the end of this week, it becomes pretty possible and likely, because we have to understand we're racing against the clock. Or should I say we're racing against the red dot on market Cipher B here. This weekly red dot. This thing starts to print. This thing confirms, you know, and we potentially are a week or two away from confirmation here. Then we can't expect the breakout to happen this summer. And we'd have to say that the pattern of sideways and down for the rest of the summer is more likely, and then maybe we can get back to bullish in the fall. And hopefully we can. But one other thing we do need to remember here is it's a race against market Cipher B. It also is a race against the clock, because this is the final year of the 4-year cycle. And in my opinion, if it's 2026 and we're not pumping, we haven't hit new all-time highs, we gotta wait. We gotta wait until the halving and then a whole nother bull market cycle to come in. Now, I understand the argument that says, you know, Jay, the 4-year cycle is broken now. The ETF, BlackRock, okay, maybe it is. But we have no actual historical data to assume that the cycle is broken. Because every single time it's played out perfectly. So until it doesn't play out anymore, we have to assume that the trend is your friend until the end, right? The trend is your friend until the end. So far, the trend is we got our 4-year cycle. So I'm really hoping, and I mean this, guys, I am hoping that we see this bullish action. I'm hoping that we do, because then we can see a real alt season, and I can make some juicy profits. And I can finally retire and quit my job. Tell my boss I made it in crypto. Peace, bro. Peace. We're heading towards 97. I think so. Must remain bullish. The community can't know we are bearish. Every single crypto YouTuber right now, LOL. Well, look, man. I try and remain as objective as possible. And I'm being honest when I say I hope. All right, I'm being honest when I say I hope, bro. Okay, I have a lot of money in these markets, so I'm not just trying to keep the community bullish. Don't get me wrong, I'm a trading channel. All right, I'm bearish as heck. In the charts, bearish as heck. And right now, like I said, things are starting to look ambiguous. Okay. To be honest with you, as a trading YouTube channel and a trading community, the bear market's actually better than the bull market. The bear market is actually better than the bull market because it's in the bear market where you build a strong trading community. In the bull market, people come and go because they're looking to get rich quick. And then when there's one dump, they're out, right? In the bear market, it's only the people who are serious about trading. Okay? You build better friendships in the bear market. You hone your trading skills better in the bear market. And then everybody, as we enter into the bull market, celebrates and takes their profit, hopefully. Okay? And I want to be bullish. I want to because I don't like this as a top. I don't like this as a top. Could it be? Yeah, it could be. I don't like this. I don't like this as a bull run. Alright? I don't. But, look. If the top is in, if it's in, what are we going to do? You know? This is why I am such a big proponent of taking profits, okay? Look, you guys, if you follow the channel, you know that I've been taking profits in this entire area here. Alright? I've been selling Bitcoin. I take a lot of crap on it, honestly. People say I'm making the dumbest decision, putting my family, cheating my future generations by taking profits. Okay? But yeah, I've been taking profits since 60K just in case. And as you guys also know, I'm short on Bitcoin. The setup was given in advance. And yesterday, people were asking me, Jason, why don't you close? Why don't you close? Why don't you close? This is why. This is why. Right? But for me, right now, what needs to happen for bullishness? Like, let's get back to the local. Let's get back to the local time frame. We need to reclaim 105.6. All right? Daily open, high volume node of all this. All right? And then we could say this is just a fluke. It was just FUD. We saw this before. I forget exactly when the Putin-Zelensky beef started, but that did result in a flash crash and then a big pump, right? You guys remember that? Flash crash, big pump. So local time frame right now, 105.6, most important level of the week, and I'd say honestly could even be most important level of the summer right now. Because a failure to reclaim this means we are probably coming down to our next target, 97K. And then we will officially have broken the uptrend that we've been in since April. Right? There's no denying it. You could say right now, Jay, you know, we did break the trend by making a lower low, but is this really a lower low right here? It's just a wick, doesn't really count. Swing failure pattern doesn't really count. But we're, you know, now we fail to reclaim this, then we actually do make a lower low, and then we actually are in bearish market structure here. And then we actually should expect to move back down to the bottom of the range. And the high 80s, low 90s. What job do I do? I load watermelons on a truck for a local farm. I get paid $3 an hour. Just kidding. I don't actually have a job. I'm unemployed. Sell in May and walk away forever, LOL. Sell in June and walk on the treadmill. What about the green dot on the monthly? Yeah, the green dot on the monthly. You know, that is the one bullish thing that we've got here. 90% chance, this green dot on the monthly, 90% chance that June we see a new all-time high. Alright, there's a 90% chance when this confirms that the following candle makes a higher high than that first candle. So yeah, there are reasons to be bullish, which is again why which is why we're looking for 105.6 to reclaim, and we can say, you know, this was just a whole bunch of FUD. Let's pump it, baby. But as we are seeing, things are looking more and more ambiguous. Like I said, and the higher time frames, which were looking so great, like our 2-day, was looking so amazing with that money flow cross, but now we've got a red dot. All right, unconfirmed. So today, if we close above 105.6, this red dot goes away, and the 2-day starts to look great again. You know, Bitcoin will prevail. Shout out to Tecmo. He says, let's go to 93 and go long from there, and we'll all be gazillion ass. Make sure to pump the likes, guys. The red dot on the weekly printed? Nah, not for me. Was it printing, or was it printing when we were down here? On Hike and Ashi, maybe? Nah, we good. We good. Alright, Gen X Crypto says the Bitcoin top is not in. I'd like to hear that, man. Sounds like we need the pump song, baby. Pump song could be good. Eddie hopes for a dump. Mr. K says, if the top's in, my wife leaves me. Shout out to Jay-Z. Shout out to Barry R. Yeah, we'll take a look at ETH as well. Tensions are high. Buy the dip. Mandatory myocarditis said I could use some free strawberries right now. Man, I've got some free strawberries. Popping on in on the vines, on the strawberry vines right now. Little baby ones, guys. They'll be red soon. Alright? We got our baby strawberries coming on in. With some mint growing in there too. And some weeds. But they're gonna be good. I love me some strawberries. Guys, look. Bitcoin trying to reclaim the level right now as we speak. New York is gonna be our deciding factor. Alright? New York will be our deciding factor. Make sure, guys, to get your plants in the dang ground. Alright? Get your winter squashes, your summer squashes, your potatoes in the ground. Alright? Get your chickens, get your eggs. Get your dang beans planted, guys. Alright? Get your GMO soybeans planted, baby. Alright? Here we go. Bitcoin trying to reclaim the level here. We're going to go to our daily chart. Let's remove all our drawings and just put our key level here that we want Bitcoin to hold. We want to reclaim. She's trying. She's trying. Despite risk management, you lost a lot yesterday. Man, I lost yesterday too, bro. You know, I took a loss yesterday as well. You just continue on with the process. You don't think about it. You can't focus on it, right? It's about the long game, not the day game. You know? Do I drink tap water? Heck no. I don't drink tap water. I have a well. Alright, I pump my own. I pump it by hand. I pump it by hand. Sergeant Squid has a beat for me. Shout out to Sunshine Girl. Sunshine Girl, what is going on? God bless you. Good to see you here. Do I have the spotted lanternflies by me? Yeah, I have them all over the place. And you know what? They're fake. They're fake. It's fake, just like everything else that's fake in this world, right? When they first came around, everyone's like, oh, watch out, the spotted lanternfly is gonna kill all your crops. Suck all your fruit dry. Guess what? They don't do anything. They don't do anything. Alright? It's just more fake stuff to be afraid of, man. Alright? More fake stuff to be afraid of. Do I have barn cats? Actually, yeah, I do. I do have barn cats. Yeah, they're all over the place. They're just wild cats around. Can you even spot it? Says Splashfire Films, we're about to pump up to the next golden pocket. Dave Digital says, I never had success growing bricks in my garden like that. What's your secret? The bricks? You just gotta plant. Here's the thing. People try and plant brick from seed. But you actually have to plant brick from pieces of old brick. They're like potatoes. Do I slow cook the bricks like a roast? No. No, I just pop them in the microwave for 30 seconds, bro. Shout out to Dano Crypto. Sorry, bro. Guys, go subscribe to Dano Crypto. Good YouTube channel. Here we go, baby. We gotta reclaim the yellow line. We've got to reclaim the yellow line. Neem oil, that's the best. What do the dots mean? Look, you guys want to learn everything? Check out the free course, man. We've got a free course here on YouTube. Alright? On their playlists on my YouTube channel. An 18-part series. Check it out. Alright? Check it out. Check it out. It's free. It's free. Alright? Free 99, baby. Free 99. 97K next, says Ben. That seems to be the way. Shout out to DJ. Jay said emergency in the title. Everybody panic! Dano has the same thumbnails as Hyper. Look, bro, we all have the same thumbnails, alright? We all have the same thumbnail. What do you guys want? What do you want? There's only so much you could do. Alright? Now, I tried to make a thumbnail like this. People didn't click on it, alright? Tried to be a little different. You know? Had a pic of Sam Bankman-Fried. Alright? Alright, in about an hour, New York's gonna open, guys, and we're gonna get our decision. Alright, now speaking of decisions, I have a decision to make right now. Do I go pee or do I hold it? I think I'm gonna go pee. Alright, so like the stream. If we have 1,000 likes by the time I get back from going pee, we'll do a $1,000 giveaway. My goodness, what a smashing pee. I do have to say, that was a smashing pee. The urination was absolutely smashing. Old bloke. The urination was smashing, old chap. Did we have 1,000 likes? No, sadly no. Alright, well, at least we had a smashing pee. The urination is quite enjoyable, I must say. Quite relieving. Crap, my mouse doesn't work. It's too wet and sweaty. Hang on. Gotta wipe it off. Keep a pee bottle next to the treadmill? I do. I have a pee bottle. But the problem is it's not next to the treadmill. I have it over by the windowsill. So I had to go over to the windowsill to pee in the pee bottle. Yeah, we gotta stream together. That means we both need to pee together, right? We're bouncing hard at 97K for a green weekend. That would be crazy if we hit 97K today. You know? That would be absolutely crazy. That was a quick pee, 1 liter max. Yeah, it wasn't a lot of pee. I'm surprised I felt like I had to pee. It's like a quarter gallon. I don't know. It's like a quarter gallon. Alright. Stream on stream, baby. Man, back in the old days, I used to take the computer outside and pee. There's no way I washed my hands. No, I didn't wash my hands. Alright? And I'm gonna pick my nose. Alright? Hope I don't get nose pick disease. Alright. I walk too much, that's why my legs are skinny. Could be, Alex. You know, could be. Maybe. Maybe. I'd rather walk than not. The pea tree. Yeah, the pea tree. Shout out to Sunshine Girl. Says, as a girl, I sometimes have to choose between washing my hands after a pee or pulling up my pants if I'm in a trade. Definitely traded more than once with my knickers down. Yeah, everyone does. Alright? I mean, I don't know what it's like to pee standing up since I only pee sitting down. But, I think we're all familiar with, you know, taking a number 2 with the laptop trading, and you're looking at the chart, and then the next thing you know, your legs are so asleep you can't even get up off the dang toilet, and if you do, it hurts. You're hanging on to the kitchen, to the bathroom counters, trying to limp along to the door. You know, your wife's knocking on the bathroom door. You okay? Jay, you've been in a long time. Yeah, I'm okay. No need to come in. She's like, are you sure? You sound like you're in distress. She opens up the door. You're there with your pants down, laptop in your hand, bent over on the counter. She's like, what is going on in here? You're like, it's not what it looks like, I promise. I'm just trying to trade on the toilet, but my legs are asleep. And then they're like, get out. Tell her to get out, right? You still got poo in the toilet. You don't want her to smell that. You gotta respect your dang wife, all right? What are the chances of a 97K Bitcoin? I'd say if we don't reclaim 105.6 today, pretty high. Pretty high. Pretty high. Pretty high. Pretty high. Pretty high. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Oh, man. Oh, man. I get depressed when I look at Ethereum. I get depressed when I look at Ethereum. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. This is the week. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, please, ETH. Alright, you can see we got 2,700. Such a key level. We got to close the weekly candle above 2657.33 on Bitget USD. Because if we don't, man, that is a harsh rejection. Alright. Another swing failure pattern of the highs. Rejecting from the weekly order block. Right here. You know. We need to close it. We need to close it above. Because if we can't, let's remove everything now. Besides that, one key line here. Alright. If we can't, guys, that means we are failing to get ETH back inside the fair value zone of the past 2 years. And that also means we have ourselves a lower low and a lower high. And that's really, really not a good look for ETH. It's really not. So, weekly candle, please. Confirm above $2,700. So we can get vacuum sucked up to 4,000, right? This ETH situation is dire because you can see how quick we could come down to backtest 1880. There's no support here at all. None at all whatsoever. So we could see ETH very soon back down at these prices here. All right. Very quick, we could see this. Very, very fast. Alright, we really need to confirm that weekly candle above. And if we're down here, then it is a nice support. It is a nice support. It would be a back test and a nice support. So far, I have to say, the higher time frames for ETH still look bullish. Half a month away from confirming the green dot. Again, this green dot is going to be our hope. Right now, very bullish if confirmed. The weekly money flow about to cross looks good. The 2-day money flow has just crossed, looks really good. But market structure is king, even more than our oscillator. And the bullish chart can look bullish, but if the price action doesn't do what we need to do, then we have to recognize, yeah, we just hit into a weekly order block, swing failure pattern the highs with a bearish divergence. And the probabilities are we're coming down to here. Sadly. Okay? Sadly. Sadly. So ETH needs to reclaim 2,700. Bitcoin needs to reclaim 105.6. And then things are back on, baby. Things are back on. Shout out to Courtney Harmon says, I'm a trucker, so I got really good at number 2 in between the duels of the wheels. That's funny, man. If we can reclaim that level, New York will open green for sure. On Bitcoin, yeah, I think so too. I think so too. We got an hour. It's pre-market right now. It's pre-market right now. How many hours of cardio do I do a day? I don't know. I don't even consider this cardio, to be honest. I consider cardio like an elevated heart rate and you can't talk. But I probably do like maybe half an hour of real cardio a week, to be honest with you. In the form of hill sprints and assault bike sprints. Hill sprints and assault bike sprints. Come on, baby. Let's pump. Are they working on a peace deal or something? See, I haven't been following really the news. I can't follow the news. I don't mean to sound insensitive here. I'm anti-death and I'm anti-war. But I also know that no matter what source my news is coming from, I just can't know what's true and what's not. You know, so I just don't follow. So are they working on some kind of a deal here? Some peace deal? Between the two enemies, alleged enemies? I mean, I know this. I know that last night, one of the world characters attacked another, but I don't know. Someone's talking about a peace deal that's like potentially gonna pump the Bitcoin price. You know? Donald Trump said he's close to an agreement with Iran. With Iran. Okay. Interesting. We gonna dump or we gonna Trump? Yeah, I have no idea what's real. Everything I hear, I say, interesting. I wonder if that's true or not. Or I wonder how true it is. Like, I just don't know. How could I know? I wish I could say I could know, but I can't know. You know? Will I do a VIP stream? There will be a VIP stream today in the Casper crew in approximately half an hour. You know? Approximately half an hour. Oh, the talks broke down and have now been canceled. Oh no! You buy potatoes every day. Why grow them? They're so cheap. I'll tell you why. It's cheaper to grow them than to buy them. Alright? You buy a 3-pound sack of potatoes. And let's see. See this whole field of potatoes back here? There's a whole field of potatoes. It's hard to see how actually big it is. Alright? Just put in perspective, this is a 50-foot barn. Alright? This is a field of potatoes back here. Honestly, 2 3-pound bag of potatoes, you can plant all these potato plants. This is like 85 potato plants. You chop up each potato into 3 pieces, put a piece underground, and each plant can give you 6, sometimes up to 10 potatoes. Alright? You know what that means? I don't know, because I can't do math like that. And then the potatoes just duplicate every year. And they stay good. They stay good if you store them right. And look, when the fecal matter comes into contact with the revolving apparatus, because although, I don't know what's true, I don't know what's going on, in the world, but at some point, historically speaking, things are going to get bad, alright? And then you won't be able to go to the store and buy your potatoes, right? Wouldn't you rather be able to produce your own food? I mean, isn't that why we're in crypto in the first place? I mean, never mind the fact that we're trading to make Tether, but let's be honest, the heart and soul of why we're all into crypto is to screw the man, Middle finger to the system. We hate the system. Screw you. Leave me alone. Don't worry about my health and my decisions and my food and my this and my that. Leave me alone. Let me do my own thing. I don't want you. I don't need you. Right? So yeah, I'm in crypto to be more self-sufficient. Alright? I'm trying to, if it was just me, and don't get me wrong, I understand that if this situation really did arise, I'd be in a lot of trouble. But I like to pretend like if everything went down, I'd be able to survive here by myself. Right? I got my own water source. I grow my own food. I raise my own animals. I produce my own solar power. And even if the solar power went down, I can do everything the old school way. I can hand pump my water from a well. I've grown grain before. Harvested it with a scythe and a sickle. Threshed it with a foot and a rake. Alright? There's something very, enriching and human about doing it yourself. To know where your food comes from. I'll tell you, you will never go out to a bar with your friends and order 6 chicken wings and think of it the same way after you've raised the chicken, killed it, drained the blood, plucked the feathers, butchered it, and now you only have 2 chicken wings. After all that work, you have 2 chicken wings. Then you go out to have a beer with your friend. You order 6 chicken wings, eat it in 2 seconds. That's 3 chickens that had to die. You will never eat a plate of green beans the same way again when you realize what you ate in a few minutes took so much labor to bend over, pick the dang beans, cut the stems off, wash them, blanch them. Alright? You will have more appreciation for your food, for your sustenance. It draws you closer to your creator. Right? You realize our reliance on God. Grocery stores, restaurants, man, they make people arrogant, right? Feel like if I get enough of this paper money, this fiat, I'll be able to support myself. No. It's God who allows the plants to grow and gives you the right weather and the rain and all this so you can support yourself. Alright? Don't fall into the false security of the man-made currency system. Right? And it's fragile. And it's fragile. You can't grow purple potatoes? I grow purple potatoes. They're the same as white. Unless you're talking about purple sweet potatoes. Those I don't grow. Much more important, staying in shape or trading crypto? Well, at this point in my life, definitely staying in shape. SB. Alright? I would gladly never trade crypto again and maintain my health. Health over money for sure. But there were times in my life where I put money before my health. And I'm not even going to say that was the wrong thing to do in that season, okay? I'm not going to say it was the wrong thing to do in that season because it's kind of like an investment, but it's always best if you can maintain your health even in the midst of trying to make a lot of money. It's very easy to get off balance with that. So it's easy for me to sit here and say, you know, health over money, because I'm in a position where, you know, assuming there's not a complete and total economic collapse, I don't really have to work ever again in my life. Right? I don't have to do YouTube. I don't have to do it. I don't have to have the trading community. I don't have to trade. But I like it, right? So it's easy for me to say, you know, it's more important for me to stay in shape. But if I was in a different situation, it'd be very difficult for me to say that staying in shape is more important, right? So, you know. Gold is on fire right now. You can make booze with potatoes if you choose. Can't wait for lab-grown chicken wings. Oh my goodness. Is this true? Double blip with a funny joke. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to be able to grow your own food. Thank the Lord. And here's the thing, guys. It's not as difficult as people think to grow your own food. I mean, I did it when I was living literally in a city apartment. I grew potatoes on the balcony. All right. I grew tomatoes and potatoes on the balcony. All right. Then, when I rented in the suburbs, in the backyard, in the driveway, I had a little garden. You know? There's stuff you can do. You don't have to have acreage to grow some food. Honestly, if you have any grass, period, you can grow potatoes easy. Easy. You could have a few chickens easy. Even in a small area. They're going to give you an egg a day. All right? Let's check out gold real quick. Shout out to Double Blip. Yeah, you can only do what you can do, right? You can only do what you can do. So you can't grow this year. That's okay, right? The Lord will provide. The Lord will provide. Praise God. Let's check out gold here. Wow. I'll tell you, gold is looking pretty nice right now. An egg a day keeps the doctor away. Or that's what they say. Nightshades. Yeah, I haven't had any issues with the memory, man. I haven't had any issues with potatoes. I'm not the biggest fan of tomatoes. But honestly, I feel good eating potatoes. I feel great. I feel like potatoes, man. That's where it's at. Look at gold, man. 1 hour money flow looking good. Let's see. Look at this. Looks like we're about to break out here. Right, let's check out ETH. Yeah. Let's check out Bitcoin. Alright, we got 45 minutes until NYO. NYO. For some jalapenos in the summer. What do I do about birds of prey with my chickens? I let them eat. I let those birds of prey eat the chickens, man. It's just part of the current state of the creation. You know? And guess what? Some of them die, some of them live. The smart ones live. The dumb ones die. And then you just hatch more eggs, man. Just hatch more eggs. What's my take on eating raw meat? It's weird, bro. That is weird to me. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't do it. Do you got Dictator? Do you eat raw meat? Oh man, Bitcoin's starting to dump, guys. Oh my goodness. Does anyone eat raw meat? Eggs or chicken periods? Yeah, for sure. What do I call them? I think I call it avian embryonic mucus or something. I had a term for it. But yeah, eggs are basically chicken periods. But it's a little bit different, right? It's a little bit different. It's different because the egg itself is like the embryo, as a human egg goes into the embryo. It's a little bit different. Butt nuggets, yeah. I love me some butt nuggets. Cuban coffee and picadillo with olives is the way. Yeah, man, that is the way. That's some good eating right there. All right, breaking. I walk. Continue nuclear activities after the other country strikes. Okay. Is that really breaking? Is that really breaking? Medium rare meat with blood? Ugh. Nah, man, don't eat the blood. Don't eat the blood. Do I have kids? Yeah, of course. I dropped out of high school. Which means I never took health class, which means I don't know how to use condoms. Of course I have kids. How do I eat potatoes? Man, I eat them baked. I eat them boiled. That's actually the two main ways, baked and boiled. Sometimes I saute them. They're not going to stop the war. No, they're not. They need war. They need war. Right? Sadly, they need the war. I mean, literally, the world has been in literally constant war. Constantly. The West has been at war since I've been born, basically. Maybe a few years of no war. The late 90s, no war. It's the golden age. That's what Trump says, right? A golden age. I wonder what he means by that. I always wonder when Trump says this can be the golden age of America. I don't think it's the golden age that the Americans want, guys. I think it's the golden age that maybe the secret club wants. Can I show you my physique? Sure. This is my current physique right now. I usually oscillate between that and this. You know, when I get real serious about diet and exercise, you can see the sharpness start to come in, the definition. But then I get a little lazy, you know, some ice cream at night, pizza, stop going to the gym, and I go back to this. You know, the skin nice and unhealthy there. The unibrow, the glassy eyes. But I go back and forth, you know. Okay, blue candle. Blue candle, baby. Shout out to Sunshine Girl. Yeah, she's been gone for a while, it seems, at least from my streams. Freestyle about the war? Oh man, that could get dangerous quick. Because I'm not the best freestyler. How many girlfriends did I have in my college life? Zero! Zero! I didn't go to college. I've only had I only consider myself to have had 2 real girlfriends in my life, alright? I had girls who were friends, who wanted to be my girlfriend, but I only officially called 2 girls ever my girlfriend, alright? And one of them I married. Alright? But there were a lot of ladies back in the day who would have wanted to marry your boy. But, I wasn't at the right time in my life for that. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, New World Order, project of a new American century, golden age, tomato, tomato. Exactly, exactly. Exactly. Good old Trump, the American savior, the one who was, I don't know, bailed out by the Rothschilds when he went bankrupt. We won't talk about that. Yeah, I got turned down by 6 Juanita. I got turned down by 6 Juanita. Did I wear groupies jeans? Yes, actually I did, bro. But look, what do you mean by groupies, alright? I did wear jeans from girls when I was in a band and was on tour. I did, but look, it was a different time back then, guys, alright? It was a different time. It's not what it seems. I promise, it's not what it seems, guys! Alright? They had to be larger females. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, I went through a period on the road back when I was in a band where I had no pants because of the story which I've told many times where I had this one pair of jeans only. When I traveled on the road, I did not travel with stuff, okay? I had one pair of shorts, one pair of pants. I didn't wear shoes. My feet were always black. I would literally walk city streets barefoot, okay? Look. And anyway, I had these jeans, and I was on stage. It was a metal band, alright, metalcore, you know? During the breakdowns, you squat, right? You squat during the breakdowns. And, I'm up there on a stage riser, and I'm squatting during the breakdown, and all of a sudden, from the crotch all the way down to my knee, my only pair of skin-tight jeans rips! And of course, your boy was freeballing that day, no undies. And there, I went from feeling like a boss rock star to feeling super dang embarrassed. Let me tell you, when you're embarrassed, the Fibonacci extension, he shrinks down a little bit, okay? It was the most embarrassing moment of my life. That's not true, I've had more embarrassing moments. It was one of the most, right? But then I did acquire some jeans from some female fans that day, alright? Will they shut our electricity for months and destroy economics and start a new one? I don't know. I tend to lean towards a slow and steady collapse, right? Like, I feel like shutting down the power and the economics is too harsh. The only way they can control people really is through the electricity, right? If you can't get on your phone or your internet, then you won't know what to do, right? Imagine VidCo 91 with no internet, no computers. People would just go on living their lives as normal. But the control grid is the internet, all right? So I don't think they're going to take it down. I think what's going to happen is conditions are going to slowly get worse, and to the point where people desire a CBDC. They desire the government to step in with a solution, all right? With a solution. We need some kind of solution to happen fast, at warp speed, baby. A warp speed solution to help us with these problems that nobody foresaw coming. And people will want it, and people will argue over it. If Trump's the president when it happens, liberals will be against it. Conservatives will be for it. If there's a lefty in, conservatives will be against it. The libs will be for it. Alright? Just like the big beautiful bill. Right? Isn't it funny? Trump literally put the whole country on universal basic income back in 2020. Doubled the money supply, but people love Trump. Man, America first. Can you imagine if Biden started sending people checks for no reason? People be like, this is a welfare state. All this money is going to these people that aren't working for it. But if Trump does it, it's good, right? So whatever the case, the people will want it, all right? The people will want it. Shout out to J-Boy Bullish. And a major shout out to Steerhouse Homestead. Thoughts around the CME gap at 91.4. I think it's a great target if we... I think it's a great target if we lose 97. Yeah. It's just the range, alright? It's just the range. We lose 97, we come down to value area low. Alright, which is also the golden pocket. And that's right around 91. Alright, that's literally right around 91. So we lose the POC of the range, we get vacuum sucked down to fill that gap for sure. Post show. How about the business loans that bought homes and cars? It's not the government's job to give you a home and a car. I'm sorry, it's not their job. Alright, if you want the government to buy your house and your car, go live in a communist socialist place. Alright? That's anti-American. Alright, I'm sorry, it's not the government's job. I'm sorry. It's not their job. Okay? I'm sorry if that offends you. But this is America, where we start our own businesses and band together as communities to provide things for ourselves. Alright? And if the TV says there's a dangerous virus, we say, oh well, there's been dangerous viruses before. No need to close down our business. And if I die, because guess what? Everyone's gonna die. Can't just live in your little safe space. Turn the whole dang country into a community college full of trans, non-carbon, binary emission people scared to leave their dang house. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. You played in a metalcore band, Tie Shift? That's what's up. You know, good old metalcore. You know, I do enjoy metalcore. It's my little guilty pleasure. Breakdowns, brutal breakdowns. A little reverb snare, some good old China cymbal. A nice little singing chorus. You know? You know what I'm saying? Am I waiting for a short or a long? To be honest with you, I'm mostly waiting for a long right now. I'm mostly waiting for a long. Bear summer again. Look, if we can't reclaim 105.6 this week, it could very well be a bear summer again. You know? It could very well be a bear summer again. Shout out to Mr. K. They wanted to shut down his store during the vid. So they started selling food to become essential. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Funny how you had to be already a billionaire to be considered essential, right? That's funny. Attack, crabcore. Yeah. Look, I love metalcore. Alright. It has a special place in my heart. And I'm so old now, guys. You know what's so funny? You know what's funny? All you metalcore guys out there. Alright. All you metalcore guys out there. Do you remember how... I don't even know how to say this, but do you remember looking at 80s bands thinking, man, they look so outdated and lame, right? They look so lame with the hair and the clothes and all this, right? But then at the time, okay, 2009, 2010, 2008, right, the metalcore look seems pretty cool, alright? It seems so cool you thought to yourself, you know what? I think I'm gonna look like that. And now you go back and you look at those pictures, and they look just as lame, if not more lame than the 80s bands, you know? You know? It's funny. That's true, we tried to look like the 80s guys, but more cool, right? More cool. Yeah, it's funny how that works. Gold is the money of kings. Gold is true money, alright? Gold is true money. You like 40s jazz? Is that weird? No, man. I love me some Glenn Miller and some Benny Goodman. Alright, some of that 40s swing. I love me some of that, alright? I love me some swing. I like all genres of music, that's the thing. I just love music in general. I love bluegrass. I love bluegrass. I love bluegrass. I love modern bluegrass and classic bluegrass. But there's this one bluegrass band I listen to called, you guys got, it's more progressive. Alright? More progressive. Check out this band Milk Drive. Alright? Check out this bluegrass band, Milk Drive. Man. It's great. It's a great bluegrass band. I'll tell you. They are good. They're progressive, right? So, they're not like your typical bluegrass band. But, they call themselves a jazz grass band. It's good, alright? Check it out. Check it out. Milk Drive, that's what's up. This is a historic moment. We butter the bread with butter. Oh man, bringing back some memories of some good old-fashioned grindcore. Oh man, okay. Have you ever worked a regular job? Well, yeah, I had in my life 2 regular jobs, and then I worked for a temp agency, mostly clearing out warehouses. But I did work at a burger place, and I worked at Starbucks. Those were my only 2 jobs, alright? But a lot of those jobs I had in between touring as a musician. So, anyway guys, I have to head out, man. May the Lord Jesus bless you all. May God bless you all. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I pray that the Lord blesses each and every one of you and your families. Hope everyone has a great weekend. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace!